Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you for joining. Hope everyone is doing good, taking care of themselves nicely. Hare Krishna. So let's start discussion. Let's begin with the Mangalacharan. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manochistam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Shah Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shanyavadi Pashat Deshatarine He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sate Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Pancha Kalpataru Bhascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Karoti Vachanam Shri Gurudev Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Hare Krishna. So thank you once again for joining. So, sorry, my throat is not good today, so bear with me. So let's start. So let's read one by one today's passage for discussion. The position of Krishna. It's very nice passage today. So
Hare Krishna, I'll start.
yes, ma'am.
The position of Krishna, God and his energies. The Ishopanishad explains that whatever we see, whether animate or inanimate, is controlled by the Supreme Lord. Lord Krishna says the same thing in Bhagavad Gita, verse 9.10, that his energies are managing everything. And the Vishnu Purana confirms Ekadasha Sishtasyanjar Josna Vistarniyata, as the heart and light are distributed all around by a fire situated in one place. So the whole creation is a manifestation of energies expanded from the Lord, Supreme Lord. For example, the sun is in one place, but it is distributing its heat and light all over the universe. Similarly, the Supreme Lord is distributing this material and spiritual energies all over the creation.
Thank you, Mataji. Yeah, somebody else can continue.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah, I'll go.
Yes, Mataji.
The position of Krishna. The Upanishad states, although fixed in his abode, the personality of Godhead is swifter than the mind and can overcome all others running. The powerful demigods cannot approach him. Although in one place he controls those who supply the air and rain, he surpasses all in excellence. The Brahma Samhita says something similar. Golaka eva nivasatte akhila mabhutau BS 5.37. Although Krishna is always in Golaka Vrindavana, he is simultaneously in the hearts of all living beings.
Thank you, Mataji. Yeah, somebody can continue.
I'll read Prabhuji.
Okay.
Krishna has no duty to perform in Golaka. He is simply enjoying in the company of his associates, the gopi, the cowherd boys, his mother and father, his cow and calves, etc. He is completely free, and his associates are even freer than he is. Because they seem to be in danger, Krishna feels some anxiety about how to save them. But his associates feels no anxiety. They simply think, oh Krishna is here, he will protect us. When Krishna enacted his pastime 5,000 years ago in Vrindavana, India, he would go every day with his cowherd boyfriend and their calves and cows to play in the forest on the bank of the Jamuna river. And often Kamsa would send some demon to try to kill Krishna and his friends. Yet the cowherd boys would continue enjoying their pastime without anxiety because they are so confident of Krishna's protection. That is spiritual life, which begins with surrendering to Krishna. Hare Krishna. I will continue, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah, somebody else can read.
I want to read. I will go. Santosh.
Yes, Prabhu.
Surrendering to Krishna means having strong faith that Krishna will save us in any dangerous condition. The first step in surrendering is that we should accept whatever is favorable for devotional service. Then we should reject anything that is unfavorable for devotional service. The next stage is the confidence that in any situation, Krishna will protect us and maintain us. Actually, he is already giving protection and maintenance to everyone. That is a fact. But in Maya, the illusion, we think that we are protecting ourselves or that we are feeding ourselves. For the devotees, Krishna personally takes care of their protection and maintenance. And for the ordinary living entities, Maya Devi, Krishna's external energy, takes charges. Maya Devi is Krishna's agent for punishing the conditioned soul. The situation is like what we see in the state. Good citizens are taken care by the government directly, while criminals are taken care by the government through the prison department. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Yeah, so this is very nice passage. Please share one of the realization or one nice point you like from this passage, one by one. Yeah. And then we can proceed with the further discussion. So anything which touches your heart or that you like the most from this passage.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
So, Prabhuji, yes, I want to share one realization from the passage. So, we should be confident enough and also realize that when we say surrendering to Krishna, it means having 100% confidence in Krishna. So, that is complete surrender. And we should not worry about anything like cowherd boys. So, they have full faith in Krishna. So, we also don't need to worry about anything because anyways, Krishna is maintaining everything. But if we forget, then Maya takes control. Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much for sharing your relation. Yes. I request if everyone can switch on their videos. We are very few members here. We are devotees, so it will be very nice to see each other. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Santosh Prabhu. Yeah. So yeah, anyone else would like to share something?
Yeah, Prabhuji, I'll share one point. Uh, in the section of the position of Krishna, it is mentioned that in Isopnisad, it is mentioned that although fixed in means God fixed in his abode, the personality of Godhead is faster than the mind or any running object. Like you can consider a jet plane or let's say who is the fastest in this world. As much fastest or faster can go, but then Godhead can present I think more faster than all this object and all. So it means that he's the one. I think presence. We used to say omnipresent, right? Everywhere he present, and he's there always to to save their devotee and all.
Yes, yes, Prabhu.
In Brahma Samhita somewhere it is mentioned. Yeah.
Yeah. So, any other points? So, okay, let's discuss these 2 points what Puneet Prabhu and Satyajit Prabhu has brought it up very nicely. So, right. Let me share a few things. So very nice in Brahma Samhita. Okay. So where Krishna resides, right? That is given in Brahma Samhita. So Brahma Samhita is the song sung by the Brahma himself, right? In glorification of Lord. So this is from Srimad Brahma Samhita 537. So in this in the passage also it is mentioned this one. So it's very nice. Brahma Samhita. Let's recite this verse. Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhavitaabhes Tabhiraya Eva Nija Rupataya Kalabhi Golok Eva Nivasati Akhilatma Bhuto Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So these are very, very nice verses actually, Brahma Samhita. And whenever, generally in ISKCON, we have this Abhishekam, right? Like in the Gaur Purnima Abhishekam, right? Gaurang Mahaprabhu's and Nityananda Prabhu's Abhishekam. So if you would have seen that video, in that we are reciting this Brahma Samhita, full Brahma Samhita, devotees are reciting, and then Kirtan. So like this Brahma Samhita is very, very nice to understand the position of Lord and his energies and all the paraphernalia, all the things about the Lord. So what it means, let's just read. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, reciting in his own realm, Golok, with Radha, resembling his own spiritual figure, the embodiment of the ecstatic potency possessed of the 64 artistic activities in the company of her confidants, Sakhis, embodiments of the extensions of her bodily forms, permeated and vitalized by his ever blissful spiritual rasa. So, Lord is reciting in Goloka, in the Goloka Eva Nivasati Khilatma Bhuta. He is Krishna is reciting in Goloka Vrindavan with his associates, right? And he's enjoying. But at the same time, like Satyajit Prabhu was saying that he is omniscient, omnipotent, right? Everywhere he is present. So he's saying in this also, Bhagavad Gita 10.8, what he is saying, Lord Krishna is saying, Aham sarvasya prabhavo mata sarvam pravartate. Iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhav samanta. Sri Gopal Prabhu also mentioning this in the main session. So I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds, right? Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly knows this engages in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. Right? So here we can understand that Lord is the all pervading, all omniscient, everywhere, and because everything is emanating from him. Every spiritual and material, both, right? It's not only material or not only spiritual. Everything emanates from him. So that's why we can understand that Lord is present at the same time in his Goloka Vrindavan, in his abode, and also he is present in our hearts, right, as a Paramatma, and even in each and every part of the spiritual and material world, right? And then Lord is saying, how does he manages the material world, right? In the Bhagavad Gita 9.10, Maya Dhakshena Prakriti Suyate Sa Characharam hetu nanena konteya jagat vipri vartate. So this material nature, which is one of my energies, is working under my direction, O son of Kunti, producing all moving and non-moving beings. Under its rules, this manifestation is created and annihilated again and again. So Lord is there enjoying in his abode, but his energies are working in this material world, right? And here we can understand Lord is saying that this material nature, how this material nature is working. And this material, what is this material? Which is one of my energy, right? It's also Lord's energy. But how it is working? It's working under my direction. Lord's directions only, everything is working. But the energy, the material, and basically the Durga or the Kali means the Lord's internal potencies, internal energies, who is acting on his behalf, and she is maintaining all this material nature. Right? Let's read a little bit from the purport. It is clearly stated here that Supreme Lord, although aloof from the activities of the material world, remains the Supreme Director. The Supreme Lord is the Supreme Will and the background of this material manifestation. But the management is being conducted by the material nature. Krishna also states in Bhagavad Gita that all of the living entity in different forms and species, I am the Father. The Father gives seeds to the womb of mother of the child, and similarly the Supreme Lord by his mere glance inject all the living entities into the womb of material nature, and they come out in their different forms and species according to their last desires and activities. Right? So all these living entities, aham bija pradapita. That's what Krishna is saying, right? I am the father, seed giving father to the all living entities. But according to as per his order, the material nature is enacting and maintaining with the three modes of material nature, right? So this is the one thing. And in Ishopanishad, right? In Ishopanishad first shloka, this is also very nice shloka, which is Ishopanishad is one of the Upanishads, which is telling about the Lord's controlling. This shloka is also very nice. We just recite this. Ishavashyam idam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat tena tyaktena bhunjita magrada kasya swithanam. Let's read translation. Everything animates or inanimate that is within the universe is controlled and owned by the Lord. One should therefore accept only those things necessary for himself, which are set aside as his quota, and one must not accept other things, knowing well to whom they belong. So this is very nice, instructive shloka, and it's telling us about the Lord's power also, that whatever, everything, animates or inanimates within this universe is controlled and owned by the Lord. So everything, Isha Vashyam Idam Sarvam, everything is of Lord. It belongs to the Ishwar, Supreme Lord. And that's why we should understand that nothing belongs to us. Whatever is given to us, that is our quota, like our land, our property, or even our family members. Those are everything is given for short time. That is not our permanent asset. Till the time we are in this body, we can say that these things are belong to us. That's why it is said we should not accept other things which belongs to other people, right? But we are seeing so many this in current situation only, right? The war is going on. Why? Because to acquire the other's land, right? So that's what the problem is. We don't know this shloka. Isha Vashyam Idam Sarvam Yat Kinchit Jagatyam Jagat. Tena Taktena Bhunjita Ma Grada Rashya Sodhana. Yeah, Srisha Mataji, you raised him. You want to say something?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So,
Yes,
Prabhuji,
ma'am.
I have a slight different understanding of this. So, when they say Ishavasya Midam Jagat, so the interpretation is the whole world, what you're seeing is the form of God. So, the understanding is whomever we see or whomever we meet or whatever activity we are doing it is to be engrossed in the activity and the thing that it is a Krishna's activity, and then the whole idea is identifying the whole world as Krishna, and that's when not differentiating that that you are different from other person, and then seeing the whole world as a form of God. So that is what my understanding is. So is that understanding correct, or whatever it is being told in the purport, how I can correlate with both of them?
Yes, Mataji. Yeah, Mataji, what you're saying also is one aspect, like we can understand that, yeah, Ishavashyam Idam Sarvam means everything belongs to the Lord, right? Means we are also part of Lord, right? And even we means all the living entities, right? Part and parcel of the Lord. So that also confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita. Lord is saying, we are all the part and parcel of the Lord, right? So, um, so so what you are saying is like, yeah, it's correct that everything belongs to the Lord. Everything is, and means even the living entity, even if will in if you understand, means sarvam means everything, right? No, not only living entities, not only land, everything, whatever we are seeing, right? So everything belongs to the Lord, and everything is controlled by Him also, right? Controlled and owned by the Lord. This is the exact meaning of this. So, so, so I think you're also saying in the similar line only, right, Matthew?
Slightly different way, Prabhuji, because in the sense in one of the chapters, I don't recollect, he says that I am the fire, and I am all the Panchabhutas who's lightning them. So when he's saying that Ishavasya Midam Sarvam, it is like he himself is declaring that I am I am the universe, and I am the creator and manifestation, and so literally he is himself declaring that he is everything.
Yeah.
And so that
So,
is,
so what is your question? Yeah.
so my question is, it is whether it is managed by him. My whole point of telling him it is not managed by him, but it is him itself who manifests as different roop, nama roop or vyavarika. That's what
Yeah,
I.
yeah. So yes, Mate. So it's like, see, that's what we just read before in the Brahma Samhita, that Lord is reciting in his Goloka Vrindavan, right? So like Lord and his energies, we can understand like this: Lord and his energies. So the Lord, who is in the form of two-handed form, who is having the flute, wearing the peacock feather, means two-handed Krishna's form. So he is the supreme personality of Godhead, and he is reciting in his abode, Golaka Vrindavan. But at the same time, his energies are enacting, right? So like Krishna is not present as a means personally here, but his energies are present. But his energies and he not non-different. So that's why we are saying he is also present, right? So there is like, this is what the tattva, we should understand. It's like achintya bheda bheda. This is the philosophy which uh, Lord Chaitanya has given. So at the same time, means achintya bhed abhed. So achintya means first we can't, it's inconceivable, right? So we can't conceive this, but still we have to understand by our acharyas, by explanation of Prabhupada, how they are explaining. We can understand it, that the Lord is present, at the same time he is not present also. Right? So that's why Bhed and Abhed, there is both the things, and it's Achintya Bheda Bhed. So it's it's very difficult to understand, but it's at the same time we can understand also with the broader perspective that Lord and his energy. So energies are present everywhere. We are also his energies, right? Living entities, material body, spiritual body. So Lord is present as a Paramatma in our hearts, right? So there are three features, even we can understand the Lord, right? Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagwan, right? So Brahman is the impersonal feature, and Paramatma is residing in our heart, Paramatma feature. And Bhagwan means the supreme personality of Godhead, means basically he is the Satchidananda Vigraha form, means he is the eternal, spiritual, and ever existing, right? And he's in the personal form, Satchidananda Vigraha. So in the Brahma Samhita only it is saying, right? First shloka itself, Brahma Samhitas.
Yes.
What is that? Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karana. Right? So Ishvara Parama Krishna. So Krishna is the supreme Parama Krishna. Ishvara Parama Krishna. Right? Who is the Parameshwar? Parameshwar is the Krishna. And how is it his behavior? Means his this thing is the Satchidananda Vigraha, right? I'll just show. Yeah. Krishna, who is known as Govinda, is the supreme Godhead. He has an eternal, blissful spiritual body, right? How is his body? Is eternal, blissful, eternal and blissful. Sat, Chet, and Anand. And Anadir, Adir Govinda. He is the origin of all. There is no Adi or Ant of Govinda. Anadir, Adir Govinda. He has no other origin and he is prime cause of all causes. Sarva Karana Karanam. So yeah, he is the Sarva Karana Karanam, you know, and he is present everywhere, but with his energies. All these energies are, we should understand it. And Lord's energy is non-different. That is also. So this is complete picture, like to understand, right?
Thank you very much. Yes.
Hope that is clear, Mati.
Yes.
Thank you. So let's move forward. Any other points? So like we have mentioned many reasons why Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? Any other points in that connection? Why Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, or what do you think about Krishna? He's Supreme Personality of Godhead, or somebody else is Supreme Personality? Why we are saying, or how we can say that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead? Yeah. Any comment? Points here?
Prabhuji, one I heard about this somewhere, like Krishna is always blissful. He is always happy, staying in his own abode, Golaka Vrindavan. He's always enjoying along with his associates, and he doesn't have any tension or anything to do. He is always in a pleasure state, and that's one of the nature where where you can think that he's the king. I mean, he's the king of all the universal administration, whereas other demigods or or his energies, they're always busy in doing something or other. But he is always in a very pleasure state. So that is one point which signifies that he is the supreme personality of Godhead.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you for adding this. Yeah. So whatever you said, it's from just now what we discussed, right? From Brahma Samhita and other differences, right? Yeah. So how can we free of all the anxieties if we surrender to Krishna? Anything you'd like to share? or any pastime, any points here? How we surrender to Krishna? What is the meaning of surrender to Krishna? Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to keep the strong faith that Krishna will save us. As like at the end of this passage, I think it is mentioned, like how the cowherd boys always they are, no fear at all. Actually, they are having in their mind, and even though they know that multiple time, demon and all sent by Kansa to Krishna, but these cowherd boys knowing all these things, they have confidence, they have faith, like Krishna will save us. So similarly, we should have the confidence in any situation or in danger condition. So Krishna will help us. So that is where I think the keeping the complete faith on Krishna is one kind of surrendering to Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you for sharing, Prabhuji. Very nice. Actually, this pastime, I would also say one pastime where we can understand that Avashya Rakshibe Krishna, right? This is what we should always keep in mind, that Krishna will always protect me. Always Rakshibe. Rakshibe means he will always protect me. Raksha karenge. And always Rakshibe Krishna, right? So in this connection, there is very nice pastime in this Krishna book I was reading about this Aghasur pastime, killing of Aghasur. So like you were saying in the passage also given that Krishna with his cowherd boys is wandering in the forest, and um, their calves are grazing, and some demons are coming, right? So here I was just reading this, and very nicely Prabhupada has mentioned from this Bhagavatam, uh, and how these cowherd boys are very much surrendered or have faith on the Lord. Right? Let's read this. Somebody would like to read? So here,
I'll
uh,
read probably.
yes, bro. The Agasur's little bit. This features are mentioned. So yes, bro.
The demon, in the shape of a big fat serpent, expanded his lips from land to sky. His lower lip was touching the ground and his upper lip was touching the clouds. His jaws appeared like a big mountain cave without limitation, and his teeth appeared just like mountain summit. His tongue appeared to be a broad traffic way, and he was breathing just like a hurricane. His eyes were blazing like fire. At first, the boys thought that the demon was a statue, but after examining it, they saw that it was a big serpent lying down on the road and widening his mouth. The boys began to talk among themselves. Dear friend, this figure appears to be a great animal, and he is sitting in such a posture just to swallow us all. Just see, is it not a big snake that was widened his mouth to eat all of us? One of them said, yes, what you say is true. This animal's upper lip appears to be just like the sunshine, and its lower lip is just like the reflection of red sunshine on the ground. Dear friend, just look to the right and left hand side of the mouth of the animal. Its mouth appears to be like a big mountain cave, and its height cannot be estimated. The chin is also raised just like a mountain summit. That long highway appears to be its tongue, and inside the mouth it is a dark as in a mountain cave. The hot wind that is blowing like a hurricane in his breathing, and the fishy bad smell coming out from his mouth is the smell of his intestine.
Yes, bro. Now read this.
Yeah. Then they further consulted among themselves, if we all at one time entered into the mouth of this great serpent, how could it possibly swallow all of us? And even if it were to swallow all of us at once, it could not swallow Krishna. Krishna will immediately kill him, as he did Bakasura. Talking in this way, all the boys looked at the beautiful lotus-like face of Krishna, and they began to clap and smile. And so they marched forward and entered the mouth of the gigantic serpent.
Yeah. So see, I mean, it's not like that they don't understand or they don't have any idea where they are going, right? With this conversation, we can understand that they understood that it is serpent and it has this, its tongue is like pathway. He has just kept and very soft tongue and so many, his jaws, everything. They're just talking about this. And while talking, they are also saying that if we'll go inside, it will swallow us. But still, they have faith in Krishna that Krishna will immediately kill, right? As he did Bakasura. So similarly, this kind of faith and this kind of uh, avashya rakshi by Krishna, that Krishna will definitely save us. This is what is required, right? This is called surrender. So very nicely given in this pastime. So I thought I'll just share this, right? And also wanted to share, yeah. So yeah, surrender thing is given in the passage, right? That we have to accept the favorable thing and we have to reject the unfavorable thing which are not favorable for our bhakti, our devotional service, right? So what are those things? I'll just read this from Nectar of Instruction. It's very nice shlokas where we should uh, we should we should refrain ourselves with these 6 things. Atyahara prayasascha prajalpo niyamagrah jana sangasya laulamcha chadbir bhakti vinashyati. So our bhakti will have vinash, vinashyati, if will accept these 6 things. So we have to refrain from these 6 activities. What is this 6 activities? Eating more than necessary or collecting more funds than required. Over endeavoring for mundane things that are very difficult to obtain. Talking unnecessarily about mundane subject matters. Fourth, practicing the scriptures, rules, and regulation only for the sake of following them and not for the sake of spiritual advancement. Or rejecting the rules and regulation of scriptures and working independently or whimsically. So both the things here. I cannot hear that we should follow the rules and regulation, but not only for the sake of following it, but for the spiritual advancement we should follow it, and not also we should reject the rules and regulations, right? Associating with worldly minded persons who are not interested in Krishna consciousness and being greedy for mundane achievements. So these 6 things we should avoid, and there are 6 things which we should follow. These are, see, very nice purport by Srila Prabhupada. Everyone should read this. I'll recommend. Everything is given here. Also, Ishavashyam principle is quoted by Srila Prabhupada. And then there is 6 things which one devotee should have. What all this? Utsaha nishya dhairyat tat tat karma parvartanat sanga tyago sato vritti shadbir bhakti prasiddhati. So his bhakti will prasiddhati. Prasiddhi hoegi. Kaise hoegi? He should be enthusiastic. Being enthusiastic. Second, endeavoring with confidence. Third is being patient. Fourth, acting according to regulative principles, such as Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. These are the regulative principles we should follow, right? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, right? Hearing, chanting, and remembering Krishna. Fifth, abandoning the association of non-devotees. And sixth, following the footstep of the previous Acharya. These 6 principles undoubtedly assures the complete success of pure devotional service. Right? So these are the 6 things we should follow, and the 6 things what we should avoid. So with that, if we'll follow these, we'll be surrendering to the Lord. Surrendering. That is the one way of surrendering or showing our sincerity, our seriousness towards this devotional path, devotional bhakti, right? What we are doing, we are trying to practice. So this is the practical aspects of showing our surrender to Krishna, right? So as we can just say that means superficially, but how we can bring it in practice, or how we can show our surrender by following these 6 principles, basically 12 principles, 6 to avoid and 6 to follow, 6 to have in our practice. And who looks after those who do not surrender to Krishna? Yeah, so if we are surrendering, what we will get? How we can say that Krishna will protect us. Any thoughts on that? So this is very nice shloka from Bhagavad Gita again from 922. Ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana paripasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. So Lord is saying himself, yogakshemam vahamyaham. So whatever, we'll just read the translation, but those who always worship me with exclusive devotion, means whatever we have just discussed, if you'll follow that, you are you're following the exclusive devotion and meditating on my transcendental form. To them, I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have. This is what the hope giving or the avashya Rakshiba Krishna is mentioned by the Lord himself, that he will protect whatever we have and he will give whatever we lack. Right? So yoga kshema vahamyam. So he will definitely protect us from all the miseries or all the problems. Not materially, but spiritually also, right? Here Shemam refers to the merciful protection of the Lord. The Lord helps the devotee to achieve Krishna consciousness by yoga. And when he becomes fully Krishna consciousness, the Lord protects him from falling down to a miserable conditioned life. So this is what Krishna's assurance. Right? So any thoughts, comments?
Prabhuji, this you mentioned about this nectar of instruction. I remember one bhajan from Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Oe Vaishnava Thakur. They are also mentioned Chaya Begado me Chaya Dosa Sodhi. So these are all also related.
Yes,
And
yes.
is it also mentioned in the nectar of instruction, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhu. Those 6 things what Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying in his bhajan is similar or even same as given in the nectar of instruction. Nectar of instruction is the Upadeshamrit is in Sanskrit and is given by the Rup Goswami. So Rup Goswami, who is our prominent 6 Goswamis among 6 Goswamis, he has given this Upadeshamrit Shastra, which has 11 instructions. Out of these 2 instructions we have just read these 6 principles. So basically, the songs of Vaishnava Acharya, right? Narottam Das Thakur, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, all these songs are very, very potent, very, very intense actually to pray. So that's why Bhaktivinoda Thakur is also praying in that bhajan. And he's also asking for the same 6 things from the Lord and in his bhajan. Very nice song.
Yes, Prabhupada has also one small book of this one, right? Nectar of instruction.
Yeah, this nectar of instruction is very small. 11 instruction means 11 shloka only.
Okay.
But every shloka has very nicely explained by Prabhupada, means in purport. It's very small book and everyone can read and follow that. That is very basic principles. Not basic, but it's advanced also. But at the same time, in initial shlokas, it's basic, like what we have discussed, that what we should do, what we should not do in progressing our bhakti, our devotional path, right? If you don't follow, then it will be very difficult path, right? That's why we should try to see these instructions and try to follow in our life also. So very nicely. So the same nectar instruction is Updeshamrit is what I was telling. 11 instruction, 11 shloka given by the Rup Goswami, and Prabhupada is given the purport for that in that book. So same thing. Thank you so much for enthusiastic participation, and hope today's session was wonderfully understood by everyone that Avashya Krishna is protecting us, right? Avashya Rakshivo Krishna. And how we can surrender to him, how we can show our surrender in practical way, right? With following these, and once we surrender, so definitely Krishna will protect us. Yoga Kshemam Vahamyaham. Right? Aham means Lord is saying Aham means personally. I personally come and protect my devotees. So thank you. Let's move to the Bhagavad Gita shlokas now. We are running out of time. So who is going to explain 26? I think Shirisha Mataji, but she left. So Amrita Mataji, you can start with 27th. I'll just share. And then.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah. Actually, the verse 27, it explains one has to take birth according to one's activities of life. And after finishing one term of activities, one has to die to take birth for the next. In this way, one is going through one cycle of birth and death one after another without liberation. And it is clearly described in the Shastra only that only in rare human form one can break the cycle of birth and death. In every yoga, there is a method given to break the cycle of birth and death. In Satya Yoga, it is the process is meditation. In Tretaya, it is Yajna. Dwapar, it is deity worship. And in Kali Yoga, by chanting the holy name of God, that is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah, thank you.
Satyajit Prabhu, 28th.
Yes, Pauji. I think in 28, it is mentioned like all created being, how they are unmanifested in the beginning, and how they manifest in middle. I think on their existence, and at the end how again they are unmanifested. I think in annihilation. That is what it is mentioned. So regarding that, it is mentioned here. So here Krishna saying to Arjuna how the soul is eternal. Or even though if you'll understand that, including the Vedic philosophy, which believe that the existence of soul, or let's say if we'll go with atheist, who those people who don't believe actually existence of soul. Also, we can have an example like a building which is having let's say whatever required it to build a big story building. Also, once it is, let's say, devastated, or one it is, let's say, collapse, again it will be it diminish inside the earth or in the soil itself. So there where it is mentioned by Krishna like a created being or unmanifested before birth, and how it is manifest in life by giving this example. So he's saying that in start and end almost the same, on manifestation, and in middle it is a manifestation. So why you are unhappy, or why it is the sadness or lamentation on your mind, this all souls again they will be arise and they will get life. So there is no death of the soul. That is what we are trying to mention.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. So I think Deepak Raj Prabhu is also not there. 30th, Puneet Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. 29, 30 both I can take. Prabhuji.
Okay.
So in 29th, Krishna is saying, so some look on the soul as amazing and some describe as amazing. But even after hearing about him they cannot understand at all. So here Srila Prabhupada also explaining in purport that owing to gross material conception of things, most men in this age cannot imagine how such a small particle can become both so great and so small. So ultimately, it is very difficult to understand soul, but so it is very difficult to find a man in this material world who perfectly understand the position of super soul and the atomic soul and their respective functions and relationships. And finally, Srila Prabhupada explaining that so if somehow or other one is able to understand the subject matter of the soul, then one's life is successful. So it is clear indication by Srila Prabhupada also that your life is successful if you are able to understand the concept of soul. And at last, we got to know that Krishna can only be understood by the causeless mercy of the pure devotee and by no other way. So that's the importance of devotees association. So moving to verse number 30, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Here, Krishna, I've noticed Krishna using this word third time. In previous words also, Lord Krishna has used this word, Shochitam Arhasi, means we don't deserve to lament. So here, Krishna is concluding to Arjuna about immutable spirit soul. So Krishna establishes that soul is immortal and body is temporary. So that need must be justified in terms of the sanction of the Lord and not capriciously. So, so Lord Krishna here explaining that when condemning the thought of the Mayavadis, it's not a chemical reaction. It is actually a soul concept, the soul which is immortal, and at the same time, violence is not encouraged. But at the time of war, it is not discouraged also when there is need for it, for dharma. So that need must be justified in terms of the sanction of the Lord, by permission of the Lord and not capriciously.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. This is Santosh.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Prabhuji, Santosh. 31st.
So now we have this 31st sloka as Puneet Prabhuji explained. I think continuing to that, what is listed in this sloka is besides considering our own duty as a warrior, this is for Arjun. He should not apply any waiver, and for a warrior there is no better engagement than fighting or upholding for the righteousness. So they need to be applying the right activities, and whatever we do, our swadharma is our duty as an individual, and this is according to the Vedas. So everyone is defined with this, and we see that we have like two kinds of dharma, swadharma, and then there is a paradharma. So this is all spiritual duties, and there is also aparadharma, so which are some material duties. So we need to be focused on what we need to do for the righteousness and the right things, and whatever we do in this life, this is all defined by God. And then if you are doing the right duties, I think we are definitely going to be delivered, and this will be also followed the Vedic philosophy, what we have as part of our culture. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Once again, welcome back, all the devotees. So, anybody would like to share what you have learned? What are the discussion? What are the takeaways? on the discussion? Anybody would like to share?
Amrish Prabhu, you would like to share? Radha Gopinath.
Okay, please.
Amrish Prabhu? Yeah.
Or anybody else from any other group?
From Radha Raman group, I think Srinivas Prabhu and Mataji. Mataji has. Can you add some points, Srinivas Prabhu and Mataji? Two points.
Gopal Prabhu, Hare Krishna, sir. Srinivas.
Hari Bol, please Prabhu.
Hari Bol. Sir, actually, we had a wonderful discussion post your session. Actually,
Okay.
what we discussed is Krishna is everywhere. Krishna is Sarvantaryami.
Mhm.
And to reach him, we need a guru. Certainly, we need a guru. And we have to do the chanting, Hare Krishna Maha Mantra chanting. I think Prabhupada Prabhu has got lot of difficulties because I also attended that 5-day session. I think it was conducted. So he is very kind enough. Just by chanting, just by kirtana, or just by service. With these three things, I think we are able to reach God. I think we are in the process of reaching him, I feel. That is my personal feeling, Swami.
Hari Bol, thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, that faith on the holy name.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
we've been
And also
hearing-
we also discussed about our chapter 2 verses. What all, how Krishna is explaining Arjuna, whatever he got that 4-5 doubts in chapter 1 are being one by one. I think Krishna is answering. He is a Kshatriya, he has to do fighting, and he felt all his relatives are there. Why I need this Rajya when I don't have my people with me? How I will enjoy this Rajya? Like that, he is feeling so many things. So like that, one by one, I think Krishna is giving answers. So how we should go for fighting, and he is not killing anybody. They are actually the only super soul is there. Only body is, I think, going off. So I think there is no point in feeling like that. He has
Very
to
good.
do, and he's moreover is a Kshatriya. The duty of Kshatriya is to do raksha to people. And it's said that when Kshatriya is fighting, and in the fight, if he lost his life, he straight away will go to Swarga.
Very nice, very nice. Thank you, Srinivas Prabhu.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anybody else from today's discussion?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Viki Chaudhary Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. The main takeaway what I got in today's passage and all those things. Supreme Lord Krishna is taking care of all living entities, and he is omnipresent, as has been told in passage, and we also know. So the person who has surrendered to Lord Krishna and have complete faith in Lord, he need not to worry, need not to have fear of anything, as Lord is there to take care of him for every need, this thing. And Prabhupada has given nice example of cowherd boys who is enjoying in any difficult situation. Kansa is sending demon and all those things, but he is enjoying. He thinks Krishna is there. He will take care of him, and he is being taken care by Krishna. So these two things we have to surrender, and we have to complete faith in Lord Krishna. Then we need not to worry about anything, any misfortune or any difficulties and all those things.
Very good.
So
Thank you.
that is okay, Prabhuji, but we have faith and all those things. But if I correlate this faith with the recent incident of ISKCON temple in Bangladesh and all those things, so that gives slight this thing, Prabhuji. I will request you to. I will request you to state my faith correlating that incident, Prabhuji.
Sure. Anybody else would like to share before we proceed? I know in Radha group also the
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Puneet from Radha
Radha
Govind.
Govind
Can I
group.
share, Prabhuji?
Okay.
Yeah. First, let's hear from Radha Govind Prabhu, and then I think some.
Radhika Goenka Mataji is going to share. It's
please.
the first day in our Bhakti Vriksha. So,
We welcome Mataji. Please go ahead, Mataji. I think there was some very interesting discussions that happened.
Yeah, Haribol, Prabhuji, I took down the notes. So there was basically discovery and understanding, and we didn't get to application. And so discovery is that, do you want me to read out all the notes? I've posted on the group actually.
Okay. So maybe like a few highlights if you want to share a couple of points.
Yeah, a couple of points that, that Lord Krishna is like, as we are waiting for Lord Krishna, he's also waiting for us. He's also waiting, and there's an Ananda feeling of like Ananda, and initially there's no such state of Ananda, but over time with devotee association there is progress to get closer to Krishna.
Yes.
And Krishna is always protecting the devotees and the devotees' bhakti, and Krishna is there in living and non-living entities.
Yes.
Presence of Krishna is everywhere. He's omnipotent. We have to do a lot of sadhana to realize Krishna, and Krishna resides in Goloka Vrindavana, and he manages the material world by his energy. And understanding is Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. Reasons all demigods are reporting into Krishna, like the government. Anything living or non-living is controlled by Krishna. He's the supreme controller. Both spiritual and material world is controlled by Krishna. He's swifter than mind, and he can overcome all other beings. How can we be free from all anxieties is by surrendering to Krishna. Like moment to moment, we are presented with an opportunity to get closer to Krishna, or it takes us away from Krishna. So we have to take that decision that takes you closer to Krishna. Takes closer to Krishna, and we can express our surrender to Krishna through our devotional services. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Radhika Mataji. It was a very wonderful summary.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Okay, anybody else? I heard somebody else was.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Puneet from Radha Gopinath.
Please, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dhanvat Pranam. So, Prabhuji, we have discussed about surrendering to Lord Krishna. So, surrendering means 100% confident on Krishna. Like we discussed how cowherd friends had confident, enough whenever they go to any place. So they are confident that they can see that what is in front of them, like there's a snake. They are going inside snake, but they know that Krishna is here. So so Krishna is here to protect us. And also in a discussion, we found out that Krishna, is protecting us, protecting all the devotees. If you are materialistic, then Krishna's agent Maya, Maya is here to, to take care of all your activities. So yeah, surrendering means 100% confidence in Krishna. And in Bhagavad Gita verses also, we have discussed a lot about how Srila Prabhupada explaining how Krishna is explaining to Arjuna that there is no point of lamenting to the material bodies, and condemning the thoughts of materialistic people, like who say that you are here just because of the chemical reaction. Because one's life is successful if they can understand the concept of soul.
Very good.
That are my key takeaways. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Anybody else would like to share?
Yeah, most of the points are Haribol Guruji.
Yes, Dimple Mataji, please go ahead.
Most of the points has been covered by other Mataji and Prabhuji. And let me tell you something which we have discussed also. Like in eye of Lord, everyone is equal. He never differentiates. That is also there. So we should be always confident that Lord is always with us. We should not afraid. We should not fear of things when we are surrendering to Lord, that yes, He is always there. Whenever we just with heart, full heart, when we surrender or ask help from Lord, He will be always there to help. Like in Draupadi case, when she called Lord Krishna with heart, then only Lord Krishna came at the last moment to help her. So this is a faith, and that we should have that 100% faith on Lord, that He is always there to help us. So we should be careful.
Thank you very
That's it.
much. Yeah.
Haribol.
Thank you, Dimple Mataji. Yeah. So very nice realizations from all of you. So basically here, we heard about Lord, we heard about Lord's energies, and knowing that Buddha, knowing the energies of the Lord, how we should surrender to the Lord. And there are 6 characteristics of surrender, Saranagati, have been given. Anukulasya sankalpa, pratikulasya varjana. Anukulasya sankalpa means we should do what is favorable, in progressing in our bhakti, and we should reject what is unfavorable in our bhakti. And raksati iti viswasa, we should have faith at all the time that yes, Lord will take care. And gopatrutve varanam tatha, and yes, Lord is the maintainer, Lord is the caretaker of everybody, and He is taking care of that. Atma niksepa karpane sadvidha saranagati, that utter humility, in a way, the devotee approaches. And then our BK Chaudhary Prabhu, and I remember in our Radha Govindji group also, there were some questions by our Manjula Mataji and so on, right? Whatever is happening through whatever we heard, like through Kashmir file or through Bangladesh and so on, very disturbing, how to really understand them. So there's a very nice section, right? Like, very, very quickly, I would like to say, this is there, like, as all of you are progressing, reading Srimad Bhagavad Gita, then, we come to the section of Srimad Bhagavatam. There's a, like, you can say higher study. So this is the pastime where Bhisma is in the Sarasajya, in the bed of arrows. And then, the time has come to leave. And all the sages came together, and during that time, Lord also came in front of Bhisma Dev. Lord came along with all the Pandavas. And then Bhisma Dev is saying, to Pandavas, what he's saying, oh, I really don't understand what kind of terrible suffering, injustices that you good souls suffer for being the sons of religious personified. Pandavas, they were all dharma personified, and you did not deserve to go through all these tribulations. Yet, you are always protected by the Brahmanas, God and religion. Here, how Lord protects us. So through different ways, right? Like, like Pandavas, they were going through so many tribulations, but still, Bhisma is saying, yes, Vipra Dharma Achyuta Asraya, because you are always taking shelter of Achyuta, you are taking care of the cows, you are taking care of the Brahmanas and the Supreme Lord and Dharma. Somehow you went through that, but still I don't understand, like, how my daughter-in-law Kunti, right after Pandu's death, she became a widow and she was suffering so much, right? It's a very inconceivable for to understand. Bhisma, like, he's considered one of the Mahajan, like considered a very dear devotee of the Lord. Like, of course, he fought against the Pandavas to prove that if you are against the Dharma, you also can perish, even if you are a so-called big, powerful, person, and a Maharathi like Bhisma also. But then at the end of the life, he wanted to have a darshan of the Supreme Lord Krishna, and that's how he left his life. But the point what we are trying to make here is that, like, even he is saying that it is very difficult to understand the karma aspect, how the karma comes, when it comes, because we always see from the silo perspective, from that point perspective, not from the perspective of eternity, right? When even the Kurukshetra war also, even Abhimanyu, he was killed, he was the son of Arjuna, he was, you can say, the nephew of Lord Krishna. What kind of an adharma he had done? No. But with that, like, definitely the momentum of the war become more intense. Arjuna became more intense, to fight against Jayadratha, to kill the Daitya, to kill the Kauravas, right? There are different pastimes at different places that happens. Sometimes it is very inconceivable for to understand. But Lord plays it out in such a way that keeping the longer and keeping the higher perspective, keeping the eternal perspective in mind. So what we have to really understand is that, yes, Lord has a higher plan. we have to have a faith in his plan, and we have to do our duty. We cannot, that's what we always say, that yes, we have to do the needful, right? But how the devotee goes through the suffering, when the Prahlad Maharaj was going through suffering, and everybody would be thinking, oh, why he's going through so much suffering? And he's a devotee of the Lord. He was always chanting Om Nam Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Why? His father is torturing him. What kind of people might be thinking of? But what Prahlad Maharaj is, Naiva DJ Paraduratyaya Vaitaranyas Tadvirya Gayena Mahamrutta Magna Chitta. For a devotee, he's not worried, whether he is in hell or heaven. He's always bliss, Mahamrutta Magna Chitta. I'm always absorbed in hearing the transcendental name and pastimes and the qualities of the Supreme Lord. Narayana Parasarve Na Kutasana Bhidyati. Sargo Api Varga Narakesu Api Tulyartha Darsana. For a devotee, because he's so much in bliss. Because with that, whatever situation it is, if it's something is great, he's, oh Lord, I'm really grateful to you. I'm getting closer to you. If it's a really difficult time, oh Lord, yes, I was not able to understand your plan, and now with this, I'm able to understand. Yes, I'm not the controller, you're the supreme controller, and I'm taking shelter. Whatever the situation it is, a devotee takes every situation as going closer to the God, instead of blaming the Lord or tolerating the Lord or even complaining the Lord. But during that time, the duty is that how I really reach out to extend my hand to the needy people. So it's not that I'm ignoring the need of others. I'm really blaspheming, right, what the others are doing. But I'm still, whatever I can do, I can extend my hand, whoever needs that help. So how we can really extend that compassionate. That's how Sister Gaurnita have come to share that love, to spread that love, to inundate that love, to the whole humanity. So let's spread the love by which all the hatredness of this world will go away. The Lord has come to kill the demoniac propensity in everybody, and it is possible, and it is going on, and it will happen. So let's bring the mercy of Sister Gaurnita into our heart, and we can spread also that mercy to everybody. So Hare Krishna. So what we have thought, I think we have already covered 8 sessions, Deepak Prabhuji, so far.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So I was thinking that all of you have so many questions, so you can prepare as many questions as possible. And I have requested Deepak Prabhu to prepare a questionnaire, right? And you can, so far, whatever we have discussed through Bhagavad Gita, through our Gita course, or through all these 8 sessions as well, and you can write as many questions and post it. So next session, we'll have exclusive, Q&A, perfect questions, perfect answer. Question and answer. We hear then Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, there's all question answer. So you'd really like all of you to ask questions, right? And we'll try our best how we can really answer to them, to all of them. So I would request, yes, please, of course, once again, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए अनंत प्रश्नों का सागर लेना, taking that engineering mindset, we try to analyze everything, but we should keep that in mind that how this question that I'm asking will help us in getting closer to the Supreme Lord. Our questions should be like Krishna Sambandhe. Our questions should be for the benefit of everybody. So whatever questions you might have, taking these 2 things in mind, please post those questions in our Google form. And next session we'll have only our topic for discussion will be only Q&A. Is that okay?
Thank you, Prabhuji. Now your explanation has really enforced my confidence and faith, understanding all those things to Supreme Lord Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Yes.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Just trying to share it. Whatever is there in Bhagavatam, how Bhishma and Pandavas, they had so much of faith. They never complained. That, oh Lord, why we are going through all this? That faith. Yes, and Prabhupada had shown that through his faith, while he was, had gone to US to spread, and he was going through so much of difficulties, but he had faith that yes, Lord will take care. And in the long run, we see that how this movement is flourishing. At that point of time, it is very difficult to realize what is happening or that, but it is a matter of time. Lord will reciprocate, and Lord will give us that higher plan.
Very true. Thank you, Prabhuji.
And I know some of the devotees also have been going through, as we said, we cannot just ignore all this whatever is happening. We have to pray for them. Either whoever, whatever people are going through the war, through disease or whatever. I know some of the members of the
Definitely,
group.
it pains once we hear all those things happening around the world, that too for ISKCON temple and two devotees. Definitely, it pains very much because we are not able to do anything for them.
Absolutely. Let's call out to Lord Narasimha. Let's call out to the Lord. That's the way we can really reach out to the Lord. We can get closer to the Lord. So let's pray to the Lotus feet of Lord Narasimha, that not only for all the living entities, but also some of the members of our group, like I know, or Vedam Mataji, Aishwarya Mataji, some of the devotees have been requesting for prayers for their different difficult situations. So let's pray at the Lotus feet of Lord Narasimha Dev by chanting this Narasimha prayer. So today, who is singing? Who is leading us? Narasimha Pranam. Okay, is it Pinti Mataji? Yeah, please
Pinti
go ahead.
Mataji, yes.
हरे कृष्णा
Hare Krishna.
सभी को धन्यवाद प्रणाम स्क्रीन शेयर करेंगे प्रभु जी
Deepak Prabhu, you can share the screen.
नमस्ते नरसिंहाय प्रह्लादलाददायिने हिरण्यकशिपुर्वक्षः शिलटङ्कनकालाय इतो नरसिंहा परतो नरसिंहा यतो यतो यामि नरसिंहा हृदये नरसिंहा नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपदे तव कर कमलवरे नखा अद्भुत श्रृंगा दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गां केशवधृत नरहरि रूप जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे केशवधृत नरहरि रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय अनंत देव लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय अनंत देव जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज जय भक्त प्रहलाद जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद
भक्त विघ्न विनाशक नरसिंहदेव भगवान की जय। भक्त शिरोमणि महाराज की जय। जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय। निताय गौर हरि
हरि हरि बोल।
And I would like to remind all the devotees as well that we'll be starting our verses